Saving $10,000 on a low income sounds impossible for most people. When your paycheck barely covers rent, groceries, and bills, saving thousands of dollars can feel like something only high earners can do. That's exactly what I used to believe. For years, I told myself the same story. I'll start saving when I make more money. But the truth was a little uncomfortable. It wasn't just my income that was the problem. It was the way my money was flowing through my life. And I realized that one random evening, while checking my bank account, my balance was low again, almost nothing left. And the strange part was, I hadn't bought anything big that month, no vacations, no expensive electronics, no major purchases. So, where did all my money go? That question bothered me enough that I decided to figure it out. I went through my bank statements line by line, and what I discovered was eye-opening. The problem wasn't one big mistake. It was dozens of small ones. Coffee here, food delivery there, subscriptions I barely used, random online purchases that felt cheap in the moment. Individually, none of them seemed like a big deal. But together, they were quietly draining hundreds of dollars every month. So, instead of telling myself I needed a higher income, I decided to run a simple experiment. What would happen if I became extremely intentional with my money for 1 year? Not miserable, not extreme, just intentional. The first thing I did was create a simple rule. Every dollar I earned needed a job, not a complicated budget. Just categories: bills, food, transportation, savings, and that last category became non-negotiable, even if it was small. At the beginning, I started with just $50 per paycheck. It didn't feel impressive, but it was consistent. And consistency is where everything starts to change. The second thing I did was automate my savings. The moment my paycheck arrived, a small amount moved into a separate savings account. That way, I never had to rely on willpower. If the money never sat in my spending account, I couldn't accidentally spend it. That one decision removed a lot of temptation. Next, I attacked the expenses that were giving me the least value. Food delivery was one of the biggest ones. Convenient, yes, but incredibly expensive. Delivery fees, service charges, and tips turn a simple meal into something that costs twice as much. So I started cooking more at home, not fancy meals. Simple ones: rice, chicken, vegetables, pasta, and suddenly my monthly food spending dropped dramatically. Another big change was impulse spending. Before buying anything that wasn't essential, I started using something called the 48-hour rule. If I wanted something, I waited 2 days. After 48 hours, I asked myself one question: do I still want this? Most of the time, the answer was no, and just like that, hundreds of dollars in unnecessary purchases disappeared. Then came subscriptions, streaming platforms, apps, premium services. Individually, they looked harmless, but when I added them up, I realized they were quietly costing me hundreds every year. So I canceled anything I didn't use regularly. Not occasionally, regularly. That alone freed up extra money every month. But the most powerful change wasn't a financial trick. It was a mindset shift. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" I started asking, "Is this worth it?" Those two questions sound similar, but they lead to very different decisions, because a lot of things are affordable, but that doesn't mean they're valuable. Over time, something interesting started happening.